Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Antimarino from Bellissimo Plastic Surgery and Medi Spa. Thank you for joining us on our Facebook Live event. Today, we're going to be talking to two incredible women who are both breast cancer survivors. And we're going to talk about the organization that they are a part of called Hearts of Steel, which is a team of breast cancer survivors who paddle dragon boats and do a lot of community events. So Ella and I were part of the audience watching this several weeks ago, and we were completely thrilled by it. So these ladies were gracious enough to join us today and to give us their story. So today we're going to introduce Francesca John and also Susan Carter. So welcome, ladies.
Hello. Thank you.
So Francesca, let's start with you. So tell us your story about, maybe when and how you were diagnosed and kind of how you went through your story. And then I'm going to have Susan, I'm going to have you kind of chime in and do the same thing.
Okay. I'm a breast cancer survivor now for 8 years. And I think, like most of us, it's a sort of a shocking announcement from your physician in terms of those radiology results. And then you find your way through what your treatment needs to be and sort of your journey to becoming hopefully healthy again. I had a lumpectomy and went through radiation, and I feel very fortunate that my cancer, didn't include chemotherapy and reconstructive surgery. So I was very fortunate for that. Ultimately, 4 years ago, I met one of the founding members of our Pittsburgh Hearts of Steel dragon boat team. And she encouraged me to come out and try this sport, this type of exercise, and bond with other women who are breast cancer survivors, and all of us, to get together to learn what all the different journeys were and just find strength through being together, exercising, and bonding, due to our history.
That's fantastic. So Susan, how about yourself?
Well, my mother had breast cancer and she lived to be 97 years old. And the month she died, I had a mammogram. And that month they told me that I had breast cancer. And I'm a nurse and I didn't like that at all. And they told me that it was very small. And I thought, well, it's very small, then I don't know what I want to have done. And so my children encouraged me to go and do it, Mother. So I did. And I went and saw the surgeon, and I had a lumpectomy, and then I had the radiation. And I didn't like that. I didn't like the surgery. I didn't like that radiation. And then they told me I had to go see an oncologist. And I said, oh boy. And so I went to the oncologist and I said to the kids, I don't know if I want to go through this because the side effects are worse than the disease. And they said, oh, Mother, you have to. And Grandma died when she was 97 and you're only 68. So, so I went and to the oncologist, and on the stand beside me was a note card from Hearts of Steel, a dragon boat team. And I looked at this and I said, huh. And I says, well, I'll be darned. If I'm going to have breast cancer, then I'm going to do something like this. And so I contacted them and I went to their practice. And oh, it is life-changing. It is absolutely life-changing. The camaraderie, the just being among other women. And here I am, 68, and I've never been athletic. And here I am joining a competitive, it's a competitive dragon boat team. And I went and I just love it. It's amazing. It's amazing. And it brought me out of that slump that I had cancer and I don't want to deal with it. And I don't want to take the medicine and I don't want to do the treatment because I'm a nurse and I know the side effects. And So, but it really changed. It really changed me. And now with every step, you know, if you don't feel good, if you don't feel, you know, you go to a dragon boat and get on that water and get in that boat with 20 other women. It's just amazing. So that's where I am.
Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of fun. So how long have you been part of the organization?
Well, I was diagnosed in 2018, so I did it then, and then in 19, and then we were off for a year. So about 2 years I've been actually doing it.
Yeah.
So
And
those
Francesca, you said 4 years for you.
I've been involved 4 years. Pretty much I was one of the first new members of the team. A number of the ladies had come from a different group here in Pittsburgh and wanted to start a new team. And I got invited, and I sort of was new to that group 4 years ago. And it's truly been a sort of silver lining in post-cancer life.
Yeah, it's when Ella had talked to, told me about the organization, I thought, oh my gosh, I can't wait to find out more about it. And when we went up to see it, it's really something to watch. It's really amazing. So tell us about the organization, how it got started, how long it's been, and really, it's all the camaraderie and just, being there and supporting each other. But you do a lot of stuff in the community as well, as we were talking about a little bit before. So give us an insight to all of that as well, if you don't mind.
There was I guess a few founding members who had the vision to sort of move forward, and found a home within Three Rivers Rowing Association to sort of sponsor us in terms of a site and a location. They had all been previous dragon boaters, and they were instrumental in building the team from sort of the ground up. And knowing that a good component of it wasn't just the racing competitiveness, but what we could give back from what we've learned through our personal journeys, and certainly have an impact in the breast cancer world and for other survivors in our Pittsburgh area. So we raise money, for the team in order to be able to give back. And that could be to individuals through our benevolent committee. We have various committees that make this sort of team function. We do have our board. We do have sort of our appropriate, rules and regulations that we follow. And we, as a group, come together a number of times a year and all have to agree to, how we're going to utilize those funds and where we're going to place them into what entities, we're going to try to support, to, help, whether it be breast cancer groups, or like I've sort of indicated, to specific individuals to sort of help them in their journey where they might need just sort of, help with daily routines, food, family support.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And so now that you've both been part of that group for a while, does it seem like it's growing every year? How do you get the word out to get more and more ladies involved?
We have activities that we invite breast cancer survivors to. One is called a paddle and chat, and we find them or they find us through our website. If you go to Hearts of Steel and in Google, and then up comes our website, and on there you can see our activities and how you can contact us. But the paddle and chats, we get women that come to that, and men that have breast cancer too are invited as well. That they come to that, and it's just a nice easy paddle, and we get out onto the water, and when they get out onto the water and they're part of the team, they just come back with great big smiles, so even that is beneficial. Even that is beneficial. And you see this boat, and it's 20 women in this boat, or 20 people in the boat. And one person by themselves can't do much of anything. But when 20 people get together as a group and make that boat move, it brings us all together and know as one. And so that's what we do.
That's fantastic. How many members are there roughly at this time?
I would say, Susan, active members, I think we've added a number of new people basically through COVID and coming out of COVID, although they were sort of chomping at the bit to get on the water with us this year. I think we're probably up to around 35 to 40 active members.
That's
and then
fantastic.
like I said, we probably have a handful of about 10 to 15 supporters who might come and help us in our events, might come and do a paddle and chat, or might come in the boat here and there with us, or might just join us in a, like I said, a community event.
Oh, that's fantastic. So how many boats do you have? I mean, are the boats yours, or is this part of the rowing club? How do you get the boats?
So there are 2 boats that belong to Three Rivers Rowing Association. So we are able to use them, and they're housed in that Millville facility.
Mm-hmm.
We did a couple of years ago, while we were building our team, and we didn't have enough women sometimes at practices to get that 20-woman boat out. Actually 22, because you need a drummer up front,
Mm-hmm.
and you need a steer in the back. But we actually bought a 10-person boat a couple of years ago. The Dragon boat itself is probably around 44 to 46 foot long,
Mm-hmm.
and it weighs probably close to 1,200 pounds. So when you didn't have 20 people to get in and make it go, we had to be resourceful. So that's when we decided, well, let's get a 10-person, and that way the people who really are here and want to go out and practice are going to be able to get out on the water. We still have that with the other 2 big boats that does belong to us. And we fortunately didn't have a need to take it out this year, because we always had enough women show up to our practices, which are 3 times a week.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. The 10 boat is a little concerning. It's not as sturdy and stable as the 20-person
Right.
boat. So you really have to watch moving around in that, and no quick moves regardless, no matter what boat you're in, because you really want to keep balance, and you don't want you don't want to cause any issues for anybody. But that we fondly look back at the 10-person boat, because a number of us have certainly gone on it, but it's a little scary.
Okay. And so you say you meet 3 times a week, and that's to practice?
Yes.
What do you have other meetings? Like you said, you get together and to decide, what organizations to support, where to put donations. How often do you meet as a group, just for just the group meetings?
So we have quarterly team meetings that we handle official business with, and we'll have our annual team meeting then coming up in November, where we will talk a lot about like the upcoming 2022 season, what we want to accomplish in general. Our committees will all give reports, because outreach, benevolence, racing. I actually sit as the race coordinator, so I'm involved with deciding what races we go to on an annual basis. And we will vote and make our plans from there with a voting consensus from the board.
What time frame is the season? Is it start in late spring and then end, maybe end of October, November? What's the season?
It starts in May, and it goes to the end of October. And then in the off season, there's we have physical. Oh, now I've lost. We exercise together on Zoom. We've been doing it on Zoom, and we exercise together so that we keep up our endurance and our strength over the winter months, so that when we come back in May, we're ready to go, or
right.
ready to go. Yeah.
So I have another question for you. So the boat is, and we've seen them, and they are pretty much what you think they are. They look like old Viking boats, and you said they're about 1,200 pounds. So as the racing coordinator, how do you get the boats from one place to another?
So when you actually go to a festival, there are actually companies that you hire that are in the business of putting on a dragon boat race festival.
Mhm.
So they will bring those boats. A lot of them function from
Wow.
out of Canada, believe it or not.
Mhm.
And you contract with them. They will bring personnel and the boats to your location. They will then set up the race courses, and then they will call the races and keep times and all the statistics, and actually sort of put that racing festival on for you. So it's a whole industry all of its own.
Yeah, so you don't have to take anything other than just what you need individually.
Correct.
Yep.
That's
Our
pretty
life
good.
jackets, our paddles, our sunscreen and sunglasses. That's what you take.
So you have
Did you say
somebody.
saddles? Did you say the dragon boat saddles? Because you need a pad to sit on.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
Because the
Yeah.
seats are a little hard.
bet. So you have somebody who actually hits a drum and keeps you in sync when you're paddling, and you have somebody steering the boat. Are they part of the team as well, or are they supplied by the festival?
They can be both. It depends on how many people you have, and how many are going to the race itself. I mean, we struggled in those first couple of years to be able to get 20 women to a race. And then we have certainly used like their steers person. There's a funny part, like the drum, the person that sits backwards and sort of beats our stroke, really follows that steer person sort of giving direction, because they're the ones watching going down a race course, what all those other teams are doing and what you might need to do to power up, and or to catch up or to keep a lead. But that the drum, actually, typically there's a big costume competition. So whoever can dress up as the fanciest drummer typically will win a prize at these festivals. And the crazier, the better.
Oh, that's pretty neat. So, anybody who is a breast cancer survivor, both men and women, can be part of your organization then.
Yes.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very much welcomed. Yep.
Good. Well, I'll tell you what, though, that was. So we were out there. It was a beautiful morning, and it was just fun to watch. And there was a lot of breast cancer survivors. There was a lot of, the support for it. So I tell you, anybody that's listening and, is to please go to the website. We'll have it linked to our website as well. So anything any information that you need, would be surely happy to give you. But please look this up. It's really a lot of fun. And if you just want to go in and kind of watch it, I think you'll get hooked right away, because when you watch it, you really do want to be part of it, and you want to get into one of those boats and just to see what it's like. So, but we thank you both for telling us your story and bringing, the Hearts of Steel organization to our knowledge. And I hopefully we can pass it on to a number of men and women. And good luck to both of you, especially towards the end of your season now. And so everybody watching, thank you so much. I hope this was good information. And we will see you again at the next Facebook Live that we're going to be doing next month. So everybody, thank you again. You can contact us at bellissimoplasticsurgery.com and look for other information about Hearts of Steel.